Welcome back to the Marching to Madness College Basketball Podcast this afternoon with Cal State Fullerton head coach Dedrique Taylor, one of my peeps right there in Fullerton, in Orange County, in the place I would love to float to. He led the Titans back into the NCAA Tournament last season after they won the Big West title 72-71. In such a dynamic game against Long Beach State. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I love to be on the show and love the opportunity to speak basketball with you.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. We've done this for several years. I think a couple times a year, and
Sure.
it's always interesting. Yeah. Hey, with the championship and in the matchup with Duke in the NCAA tournament, talk about the overall feelings you had about last season as a season, but also last season for your program.
Yeah, I think, it was obviously a great year for us and one that I knew we were capable of. I just was worried about us being able to put the pieces together to be able to execute it. And we did. We had an unbelievable year. Topped with, winning the Big West championship in the fashion that we wanted. It came down to a last possession of the game, and we had a chance to put some more points on the board, and we weren't successful at the free throw line. And so it came down to get to stop, and it's something that I pride myself on. And I think we've built the unbelievable culture from a defensive standpoint. And so we were able to fly around and get what we wanted, get what we deserved. Get what we were after, in my opinion, with this group, and it was unbelievably good for this group to win in the fashion that we won, and then to have the matchup with Duke. I think if you're going to be a 15 seed, I don't know that there's another opportunity for you to be seeking, and other than to play Duke in this type of situation, with Coach K's last year and all of the hoopla going around with that. And for us to be a part of that, I thought it was great. I thought for us to be a part of history in that fashion, I thought was really exceptional for this ball club. And so really excited and about last year and what guys did last year. And as you know, last year was last year. It seems like it was so long ago. And now we've got a new group of guys, and we're trying to regroup and reboot and try to do it all over again.
New group of guys. Jalen Harris is your leading returning scorer, and his ability and how he will lead is a good standpoint for you, I think, to start the season.
Yeah, no, I think Jalen definitely provides us with an unbelievable amount of experience, a level of perspective, because he's older, he's been around. Shucks, he started at a prep school, and then he went to a juke, and then we got him out of a juke, and then we had COVID. And so he's been through a lot, and for him to kind of stick with it and come out on top and have the success that he had last year was unbelievable. And then moving forward, again, taking all the things that he's been through and putting and applying them to this group, I think is really, really good for the newer guys to understand, who he is, but what he does and how he works. I've been really impressed with the way that he's established a rhythm with this group, within his own right, his own self from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint. And I think if these guys, the newer guys, can take a page out of his book, being able to establish Jalen's rhythm, Jalen's, pace and his speed, I think these guys can learn a lot from him, and hopefully he can continue to provide that for us. And, he's going to be in a new role this year. Last year, he came off the bench. He was sixth man of the year. And this year I would anticipate him starting and playing a lot of minutes and continuing the level of productivity that he had for our ball club. Was really important last year, but it'll be even more important this year.
Now you have two players back there with him, Torrey San Antonio and Latrell Wrightsell. Talk a little bit about putting those three guys, I guess together in the same backcourt and what they're going to give you.
Yeah, I think they provide a level of experience. They've been through the fire, so to speak. Now, obviously, it'll be a little different because I think their roles will increase and be a little bit different than it was last year. But having their experience and them understanding how to prepare, them understanding, how to win, and obviously we know how to lose. That's not hard to do. But just understanding some of the things that it takes to win, and allowing this group to understand whether it's verbally saying something or it's physically, routinely doing what winning needs, and allowing these guys to see that and what it looks like. I think it'd be great, but really want to establish those guys as their chemistry. Again, I think it'll be different because they'll have different roles and different responsibilities this year, but the chemistry amongst those three, I think, will permeate throughout the rest of the team and be really, really solid for us. But we have to work at trying to create that chemistry, not only amongst those three, but obviously the rest of the group.
Now you have Vincent Lee at forward. He shot 52.4% from the floor last season, and he was your second leading rebounder a year ago.
Yeah, he provided us with a lot of inside presence from a physical standpoint, and him and EJ being a 1-2 punch. When teams had to contend with EJ on the offensive glass, it freed him up, and vice versa. When teams had to contend with him, it freed up EJ, and so there was a lot of pressure that was alleviated off of each other with the way, or having them on the floor together. But again, I think he's a guy that's been around for a while. He started his career at Nevada, and he's been here for a long time. And, he's an elder statesman, if you will. So, again, his maturity and his perspective and his experience is something that we're going to rely on heavily. And he's going to have to hold it down for us, quite frankly, in the middle, with our ball screen defense and being able to throw it into the post and be able to get something. But obviously, from a rebounding standpoint, we're going to rely heavily on him to go get a couple of rebounds, but also make sure that his guy doesn't rebound the ball, so that our guards can come in there and hopefully do a better job of rebounding and get us out to start our break.
Your team and things, I think, are known for defense. Now, your ball screen defense, how does your ball screen defense help permeate your offense?
It's different. I think it's unique. I won't say it's better or worse than anybody, but I do think it's unique. I do think it's different with the way that we play ball screens, and mostly we just want to stay in front of the ball, keep our body in front of the ball and between the ball and the basket, and try to force it one way or the other. And if we can do those things, our defense is set up to be able to take advantage of the rotation and try to create some easy baskets in transition for ourselves. But really, it's just a different look. And it's important that we're all on the same page, and we understand that all five guys are involved in the ball screen defense. And if we can get them all five to do their job, I think we can expect, or we'll appreciate and like the outcome, which is hopefully a missed shot or a rebound opportunity, and we can get out and we can run, and our thing, how it fuels our offense is when we can get that rebound, we can secure the rebound. We've been able to get out in transition and score some easy baskets and push in transition and put pressure on the defense, whether it be transition defense or whatever the case may be. But we're trying to put pressure on the defense to get to the paint. We want to be able to get to the paint, and we feel like if we can do that, it creates what this team does really well, and we've done this well up to this point, which is catch and shoot opportunities. If we can touch the paint and do that.
Do that, yeah. And now you've got twin brothers, Jaden and Justin White, coming in. Talk about how they're going to fit like your rotation on offense and defense.
Yeah, they'll provide a level of energy. They're freshmen. They're typical freshmen. They don't know which way is up half the time, but they provide us with a level of energy and a level of depth, and they've got good size. And so for them to be able to be the understudy of older classmen and kind of see how they move and kind of see how they handle business on a day in and day out standpoint, it will help us, provide some depth and give us some opportunities, give them some opportunities to be successful.
Now we're talking about John Mikey Square and Garrison Wade. Now they're two of your 5 transfers. Talk a little bit about their game, like we just talked about the twins.
Yeah, I think, for those two guys, particularly Garrison, he's already graduated. He's a graduate transfer from Dartmouth. And so, again, he's been at the Division I level playing basketball for 4 years. And so trying to take advantage of that experience and what that looks like and what that means. but then also trying to understand how we play and how we do things on both sides of the floor are a little bit different than Dartmouth. You know, Mikey is another guy that he's been around college basketball for a couple of years, and he understands some of the nuances that it takes in terms of, you know, getting in the weight room and helping your body that way. But also, I think at this point he plays so hard, which is again a mainstay in our program and something that we're trying to promote. And he fits right into that, you know, giving us an opportunity to drive the basketball and touch the paint, with Garrison's ability to space the floor and be the benefactor of touching the paint. You know, his ability to catch and shoot is something that we're relying on heavily.
Now, the Big West continues to be, in my opinion, I told you off camera, an underrated league. I mean, it's good to follow and stuff. We need more on TV. How do you see the potential increase in NCAA tournament participants, especially if they're going to increase the number of teams, you know, that'll play in March?
Yeah, I think you know, it would definitely help create a level of exposure for a ball club. But at the end of the day, you know, we play a unique, good brand of basketball. And I think if you look at all 11 schools in our conference, all of them are different. And they're really good, very well coached, trying to execute their philosophy both offensively and defensively. And everybody has their unique style, and it doesn't really mimic or look like anybody. You know, like Cal Poly is going to be different than Bakersfield. Bakersfield is going to be different than Northridge. You know, we play different styles and different brands of basketball. And so night in and night out, as your own style, you got to get ready for the opponent, and they don't look like the one you just played. So that's a credit to the coaches in our conference. But also it's unique, you know, and it makes the tournament even that much better, that much more competitive, because I don't think any coach can predict accurately whose team is going to win. I said this last night, you know, at this point in the season, we're all undefeated, but every coach has the right to stand up and say, hey, we have a chance to win the Big West Conference title. Sure. We have a chance to win the Big West Conference championship, and they're all right. Because as you notice, over the last 10 years, it's been a different winner of the title, championship title for the conference, and then a different winner for the conference championship, tournament championship as well.
Last thing, Coach, curious about your thoughts on analytics, just your thoughts on using analytics and which ones are most important to the Titans.
You know, analytics, they've come on the scene and they've created a lot more information. At our level, we use that information as a staff. There's only a couple, 3, maybe 4 analytical analysis that we use towards coaching our team. I'm a big feel guy. I'm not necessarily an analytical guy. I'm more of I won't say a basketball guy, but I'm more of a feel. The analytics are what they are. In order to produce analytics, you got to do something. And then you got to play basketball, you know, and one way or the other, you know, you can say this is a good analytic or that's a good analytic based on your style, based on the way that you want to play the game, both offensively and defensively. So there are things analytically that we use in terms of percentages of shooting percentages, or maybe how many times analytically a team will run this particular play or that particular action. There's some things that we do use analytically, but for the most part, like the one analytic that I would stand up and argue with is, you know, everybody's on this three or layup.
Yeah.
I'm on score. And if a dribble pull up, it means score. I'm taking that, you know, and the case in point is we had a possession at the end of the Big Sky or Big West Championship where Latrell had an opportunity. To shoot a 3, but the guy flew at him and he pump faked, one dribble, pull up, it was all net, and it gave us some points. So analytically, they're going to say that's a bad shot, and I'm going to say BS. The whole game, the whole point of the game is have more points than the other team.
Yeah.
So you can get caught up in the analytics if you want. I'm trying to win the game.
Yeah. Coach Dedrique Taylor, always fun. You're on Marching to Madness. I always enjoy our conversations, Coach, and I wish you the best out in that Big West Conference this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoyed being on your show. And anytime you want to come out, let us know.
Oh, yeah, I will.
All right.
Thanks
Take
a
care.
lot now.
Thanks.
You too.
See
Yeah.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.